moving on to our next keynote presentation. So we have Mr. Ankit Rajpal, the territory manager from Veeam Software, who will be talking about modern data protection for hybrid cloud. So Ankit, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Naveen. I hope you can see my screen and I'm loud and clear.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Naveen. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Bahrain. Thank you very much for joining this session. And thank you, Naveen and the team for Bahrain Hybrid Cloud and Cybersecurity Summit for giving me the platform to come and perform. We are proud to be a global sponsor for the event. And so here I go with my presentation. So today I'm going to talk about modern data protection for the hybrid cloud. That's what the theme of the event is. It's about the hybrid cloud and cybersecurity. And at Veeam, we're going to talk about how we help you protect your data across different hybrid cloud platforms, whether it's private cloud, whether it's public cloud. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Naveen already introduced myself. I'll just do a quick introduction again. My name is Ankit Rajpal. I'm territory manager for Bahrain and Oman region, handling this position for the last 3.5 years. And I've been working with Veeam since 2015, and actually have been in the Veeam ecosystem since 2011, pretty much since existence of Veeam in the Middle East region. So that's about myself. All right, so let's move on. And not moving on, actually looking a few years back, a year back, if we talk about year 2020, what are the things which come to your mind? Well, it goes without saying, pandemic, uncertainty, unprecedented, challenging, and all those negative things come to our mind, right? Now, it's been more than a year we've been running in pandemic. Things don't seem to get as any better, but it's that we are a bit more prepared now, right? If we talk about 2021. So what did we learn? What were the positives of last year? Uh, there was a lot of learning. There was a lot of growing in certain industries. There was a lot of connecting. We evolved and we found new ways of connecting to the world, connecting to people. When there were lockdowns, we were sitting locked in our houses. We were connecting with all our friends all over the world because there was not much to do, and we wanted to make sure everyone was safe and keeping all right. So, and we found new innovative ways of conducting business. We transformed the industry. So there was a massive wave of digital transformation because of the pandemic disruption, right? So that's what we've experienced in last year, and that's what changed the way, especially our industry. If we talk about IT, we've come through a massive transformation. As per the words of Microsoft CEO, Mr. Satya Nadella, we've seen 2 years worth of digital transformation in just 2 months. I love this quote, and we actually experienced that when the lockdown started to happen last year around the same time, around March, April time around the world. Companies were down, people were moving to online businesses, people didn't know what to do, people who were dependent on physical businesses had really, really tough time. So the time came in, if you would not be online, you would not be in business, or if you would not be digital, you would not be in business, right? So digital transformation is the only way forward for any business or any industry to survive, right? Now at Veeam, we help you to have your always on business, and we make sure that your business always stay on and your digital transformation continues as per the plan, so you can still be very much relevant in the business. At Veeam, we are the most trusted provider of backup solutions that deliver cloud data management. Again, that's the key, that using our backup solutions, we help you deliver cloud data management. And that's what we're going to talk about in further slides. But before I move forward, I'll do a brief introduction about Veeam. So as a company, Veeam is very young. I won't really call it very young now, but I've been used to calling Veeam very young. We only started our operations in 2006. So it's been 15 years since Veeam's existence. And in 2006, if you roll back or if you rewind your brains 15 years back, 2006 was the time when virtualization was mainstream. Like today, everyone's talking about cloud. 15 years back, everyone was talking about virtualization and it was coming into mainstream. So VMware was disruptive, Microsoft Hyper-V was disruptive. And that was the time when Veeam was born. It was born in the virtualization era. And we focused on that particular market where we actually designed certain solutions only for virtualized workloads, right? So we got very popular with VMware admins, and we were actually seeding the market. So in 2006, we started the company, but we didn't start selling any products. We were just seeding the market with some cool tools around VMware, some fast SCPs, granular restores, some magic which you can do with your VMware environments, and that's what we did. In 2008, 2 years later, in Q1 of 2008, we actually came up with our first product, which was called Veeam Backup for VMware version 1. At that point in time, like 13 years back, we were a small company working from a garage in Ohio with about 15 people. And where we come today, if I talk about our year results end of 2020, here we are. We are a $1.1 billion revenue company. 82% of the Fortune 500 and Global 2000s use Veeam in their production data center. So these are not small companies. These are massive, massive companies listed on New York Stock Exchange, running the world. 82% of them use Veeam in their production data centers. We acquired about 400,000 plus customers in last 13 years. So that's a massive acquisition and massive growth for any company in such a short span of time. We've got presence in about 160 plus countries. We've got 4,500 employees. So from 15 employees 13 years back to 4,500 employees. So it's a great success story. There has to be something right that we've been doing. And the credit of our success goes to people like yourselves, like our customers who actually appreciate technology, who embrace technology and appreciate innovation. So that's where our net promoter score comes into the play. If you would see that Veeam's net promoter score stands at a whopping 75, which is a 3.5x of industry average. Industry average is at 21, and we are 3.5 times more successful or more giving customer happiness, satisfaction to our customers. So that's what makes Veeam very successful in such a short span of time. Now, I was talking about the references around the world, but what matters is who are references in country, in Bahrain, right? So if you would see some of the logos on my presentation, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but then the whole point is to highlight few names from every vertical, whether it's banking, whether it's oil and gas, whether it's healthcare, whether it's real estate, whether it's utilities, energy, whether it's entertainment like Bahrain International Circuit. We got pretty much most of the customers on Veeam, and this journey just grows and grows. And these customers just embrace more and more that Veeam has to offer. So if any of you probably are in the crowd, or if anyone wants to speak to any of these clients, I'll be more than happy to organize reference calls as well later on. Like all the good work which Veeam has been doing has also been appreciated and accepted by the industry review companies or research companies likes of Gartner, Forrester, and IDC. Veeam's been named leader, number one market growth share. All of that stuff is being acknowledged by them. And if you look at the Gartner's Magic Quadrant for enterprise backup and recovery space, you would see where Veeam exactly stand. Very proud to see that we are in the top right corner in the leaders. I remember when first time we made it in Gartner's Magic Quadrant was I think 2014 or 15, and we were somewhere there in the visionaries. And I've seen Veeam climbing up year on year to the ladder, getting into the leaders quadrant, and now very proud to say that we are at the top. And thanks to our customers, thanks to our R&D for trusting us and taking us to that spot. So, and we plan to dominate that spot. If you would see our worldwide market share, Veeam's global market share is number 3. So we are the third biggest player. And I think if the 2020 numbers are out, H2, I saw that we probably reached number 2 in that space, but then that needs to be updated and validated yet. So we hold a number 3 global share in the global markets. If we look at EMEA, the market where we are there, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Veeam holds a number 1 market share. So we are the biggest player when it comes to enterprise backup and recovery software. Veeam holds number 1 market share on that. All right, so coming down to cloud data management. So from Veeam perspective, what is cloud data management and how we actually help you achieve that? So there are 5 core pillars when it comes to delivering cloud data management. Number 1, and the core job being backup and recovery. So the backups is something which needs to be done daily and for pretty much everything. Today, you're not just limited to your data center, you've got your laptops, you've got your PCs, you've got your cloud workloads, and you want something which seamlessly backs everything. So your backup should just work, and you should want something least to be worrying about that whether your backups are happening or not, right? So it's your daily chores. So it must be running. So there's this slogan called "It just works," which actually came from one of our customers, where our customers told us that, you know what, since I've deployed Veeam, it just keeps working, right? So it should just keep working. It's fully software defined. That's what you expect from a modern software today. We've been talking about governance and compliance in the previous session. So Veeam actually helps you achieve that. Veeam got ransomware protection. You know, when security fails and you have to come down to your backups, Veeam actually does give you protection from ransomware with a lot of different tools and mechanisms that we have in place. We help you do your data security and compliance assessment with our monitoring and analytics and reporting tools. We help you achieve all those compliances. And when things go wrong, when there's a disaster, you need proper orchestration in place. So when you have to recover from a disaster, you should not be going all crazy all over the place, trying to sort out what is really going on. But there has to be a predefined plan, and that plan should be executable and has been tested many times that it can be executed, and it should be well documented. So Veeam helps you achieve all of that. Veeam helps you reuse the data for DevOps and app development. Now everything is moving towards faster digital transformation. Customers and partners and end users and customers have got a lot of pressure to develop new apps, bring it to market very soon. So Veeam helps you utilize your backup data to use it for DevOps and bring some new applications to the market really quick. Monitoring and analytics become very important, especially artificial intelligence driven monitoring and analytics just adds up to it. So that's what Veeam offers you in our platform, where we can analyze your trends, analyze your behavior, and give you reports accordingly and tell you how the trends in your environment like. We can do automated issue remediation. So if you find there's a problem, we can take a pre-approval and fix those problems by itself automatically, so that the human interference on day-to-day matters get as minimal as possible, and you're reaching towards more of artificially driven environment. And the most important thing, especially for Bahrain, is the cloud mobility. You know, how we can help you move your on-prem workloads into the cloud, how we can help you move your cloud workloads to another cloud or bring it back to on-premises, how we can help you actually bring a copy of backup from on-prem to cloud or vice versa, and how we can actually help you maintain your automated data retention policies. Especially, you know, there are heavily compliance driven industries like banking, heavily regulated industries. Over there, your data retention is very, very important. Your compliance and governance becomes very, very important. So Veeam gives you the tool to help you achieve all of that. Now, how do we exactly do all of that? What are the products that make it happen? So in this slide, I'm going to talk about the Veeam availability platform. This is an overview of all the tools that Veeam has to offer and how we actually make it happen for you. Whether you're running your data center on premises, in your private cloud, whether you're running in a software as a service like Office 365, whether you're running in a public cloud like AWS or Azure or Google, or whether you're dependent on a local cloud provider like in Bahrain we have Kalam. You know, Veeam has solutions for all of those environments and can help you unify data across all of them. So how do we do it? Let's look into this. So Veeam Availability Platform, the core product that we've got is Veeam Availability Suite, which is a combination of backup and replication. As the name suggests, it does backup and replication, disaster recovery for you. And Veeam One, which does your monitoring, analytics, and all of the automation stuff, right? Now, this is mainly designed for virtualized environment, which covers your VMware Hyper-V, which covers your VMware vSphere, which covers your Microsoft Hyper-V, which covers your Nutanix AHV. So these are the hypervisor level integration that we've got. Then we got plugins for your enterprise applications, databases like Oracle RMAN, SAP HANA, and NAS file share. So all of that is managed by this product. Now, there's a perception of Veeam that Veeam only does virtualized environment, and that's what we changed a few years back. Now we do pretty much anything and everything, and that's what we're going to focus in the next few buttons. So we introduced Veeam Agent for Windows and Linux a few years back. This comes and integrates into Availability Suite, and this pretty much covers about 98% of your physical server workloads. Very robust product, very mature product, and being embraced by all Veeam customers globally. Sells like a hotcake, very easy to manage. Again, centralized management into Availability Suite. Then we look at Veeam Agents for AIX and Solaris. So we have to go a few steps backward to give you Veeam Agents for AIX and Solaris for the legacy environments. That's got covered. The Veeam Backup for AWS, our native backup tool, which does backup for AWS environment using AWS snapshots, takes backups to S3. From S3, you can bring it on premises, and vice versa. You can actually do backups for your on-prem VMware machines, Hyper-V machines, and also send a copy to AWS. So that complete cloud mobility picture is completed with backup for AWS, and the same thing we do for Azure as well. We can protect your native Azure workloads, whether it's Azure instances, Azure databases. Same goes for AWS, whether it's your RDS, whether it's your config files, whether it's your EC2 instances. We back up all of them, back it up to object storage, bring it down to on-premises, right? Similar capabilities which we recently launched for Google Cloud Platform. So it doesn't matter what public cloud you have, we've got it pretty much covered. Now, all of this is bundled in one licensing called Veeam Universal Licenses. Then we got Veeam Disaster Recovery Orchestrator, which is a VMware-only product to enhance your DR orchestration. And the most important, Veeam Backup for Office 365. Everyone's moved, I see most of the customers have moved their data into Microsoft's cloud, but what they forget is that backup still remains customer's responsibility and the data protection still remains customer's responsibility. So that's where Veeam comes into the play. We actually help you protect your Office 365 data, help you bring it a copy on premises, or take it to AWS, or take it to Azure, completely your choice. And then one of the latest feather to the crown is Coston K10, the product which we recently added, a company which we acquired. This is a native product designed for backup for Kubernetes. So that's what Coston does. If you have Kubernetes, VMware Tanzu, Red Hat OpenShift, Amazon EKS, this product takes care of you. So that's a very high level overview of what Veeam Availability Platform is. I think I'm running short on time, so I would be skipping a slide and I'll open up for questions. Thank you.
Right. Yes. Thanks so much there, Ankit. In fact, a very a brief presentation. And yes, we have one question. Rather, there are a few, but then we've chose to, ask you this. This came in from Mr. Atul Ahuja, right? How do you propose managing hybrid environments? So very quickly, your point of view on this, Ankit.
Okay, so what we do is the Veeam availability platform, which I showcased, right? So that is the core heart of our product, right? Now, if you look at customer scenarios today, especially Bahrain, right? So there was a big push from IG and the Bahrain government that move whatever you can or as much as you can, or if possible, everything onto AWS, right? So we see that customers have recently started migrating a lot of their workloads onto AWS. A lot of workloads, we see some customers prefer Azure, and then all the emails and Office workloads, SharePoint workloads, Active Directory, share filing like OneDrive has moved to SaaS platforms like Office 365, and there's still a massive workload which is left on premises, right? So Veeam helps you with migration of all of these data across different platforms, bringing that data on-prem, taking that data to the cloud, and all of that is possible through one power tool, which is Veeam Availability Platform. So it is one of the biggest concerns. I was attending yesterday's session, and which was an architect from IGA. I forgot the name of the gentleman, and he mentioned that when you're moving something to cloud, you have to see a lot of things: the DNSs, backups, platforms which you're going to use, and we actually complete that picture in which we make sure that the backup and disaster recovery of whatever workloads, wherever they're going to sit, is being taken care of. So Veeam actually fills that picture of data protection for your environment. Doesn't matter where it sits.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks so much, there. Thanks so much, there, Ankit. I hope that has answered the question from Mr. Atul. We in fact have received a few more, of course, considering the restriction with time, and we're like about 5 minutes late on the agenda. So we have to probably share those questions over to you so that you could answer it on a later note. And thank you so much there, Ankit. And yes, for the audience, we have Veeam Software as one of our sponsors, and you can visit their launch and look for more information about the solution offerings from Veeam. And thank you so much, Veeam, for sponsoring this event, and looking forward to associate with you for many such initiatives. Thanks, Ankit.
Thank you, Naveen.